Hey, it's Mark Ferguson with Investor More, and we're back with another real estate video. Today, I'm doing something different that I haven't done before. I am going through each of the properties I bought this year, talk about why I bought them, what our plan is for the properties, how it's going so far. So we're a little bit past the midway part of the year, which seems crazy because I feel like it just started. And I think so far, I'm right around 3,344,000 of properties bought this year. So I'm in Colorado. It's an expensive market. Places are pretty pricey. So even buying some of the weird, interesting stuff we do is pretty expensive. All right. Love the likes, love the shares, love the comments. Keep those coming. Love seeing new subscribers. We've got all kinds of cool videos we're always posting out here of my own properties, walkthroughs, advice, housing market, businesses, all kinds of cool stuff. All right. So like I said, I haven't done this video before, and I thought it would just be cool to kind of take inventory of what I've got, not only to show everyone else out there, but for me as well to go over what we're doing. So these are not in the order I bought them, just in the order they happen to show up on my local MLS system. So some of these I bought from the MLS, some I did not, but they all have pictures, old, new listings. You can see this one was from a while ago, but I bought it well after this. All right, so starting off, this is a triplex in Platteville, Colorado. And I actually ended up paying $290,000 for it. And it was from a wholesaler who got it from a wholesaler and a wholesaler. It was a crazy deal. I think the owners or the sellers ended up selling it for $220,000. I paid $290,000. The wholesalers in between it, another agent, somehow split up the rest of it. And then I think it was an inherited property. They just wanted to get rid of it. And they're also paying their property manager like $800, $900 a month, which was crazy because I think each of these were rented for $650 a month. And almost half of that rent was going to the property management company. It wasn't even a company, it's just kind of a friend helping out the owners there. So why did I buy this property? Well, it's not very pretty. I have a video of it, of course, of the outside, and the paint's peeling. It looks much prettier in this video, in this picture than it did in my video. But just based off income in a triplex in our area, I mean, it's really hard to find a house under $300,000, let alone a tri-level. And I kind of like to do my values based on gross cap rates, kind of like a gross rent multiplier in a way. But if it's bringing in $1,950 a month, we multiply that by 12, and we get to $23,400 a year of income the property brings in. And if I'm doing a gross cap rate, I'm basically just taking the income and dividing it by a cap rate. I'm not doing any expenses, anything like that. A net cap rate would be when you take away all the expenses, and those cap rates in our area are 5, 6, maybe lower sometimes, where a gross cap rate is 7, maybe 8. And it's just a lazy way for me to do it because I don't feel like going through all the expenses right now. But at its current rent, at a 7.5 gross cap rate, it's worth $312. I paid $290, so not the most amazing deal in the world, but really these rents should be at least $900 based on its current condition, really. And if we do that, hopefully I did all this right, then it's worth $430,000. And then if we go through there and rehab it, fix up the units, I mean, we should be able to get at least $1,100 for each one, if not a little more. And in that case, then it's a $500,000 property. So I haven't decided what to do yet. We're not kicking out the tenants or doing anything yet. All of them paid rent the first month. That's good to see. We're kind of seeing how they do. And then they want us to check out a few things and look at some issues and problems they had. And actually, I thought they were going to text me that, and I haven't gotten that yet. So that's why I do this video, so I remember things. I'll check back with them because we're going to send our guy through and fix a few issues that they had that the last landlords would not fix. So that's the number one property that we bought. We bought that a month and a half ago, so pretty recently. Number one, just by meaning it showed up here first. And here's the second one, which also bought just in June here, a little over a month ago. And this is one of my favorite properties. I really like this one. Really glad I ended up getting this one. I had my eye on it for a long time. Every time I drove by it, because I have two other properties on the same street, I say, man, I'd really like to buy that property. Then a coming soon sign came up for sale a couple of months ago. Then it disappeared. And then it came back up for sale. I made an offer right away, got it under contract. And then quite a few other people, I think, been trying to buy it since then. But luckily, I did end up getting it. But it had a ton of stuff on it when I got it under contract. And these pictures don't quite do justice to how much there was. But there was stuff all over. And I thought, there's kind of an idea. I thought I was going to have to move a lot of it Ended up the old owner, the ex-husband, helped move so much stuff, was really cool, and even helped me find a renter. So he's been amazing. And so it consists of this property is kind of like an event hall. There's a little garage back here as well that could be rented. Someone just called me on that. This is a 4,000 square foot shop that used to be a diesel repair shop. Huge doors. You can fit a semi in there. This is all Quonset huts. It could be storage if we fix it up a little bit. That's extra value. And then it's got this garage here, 2-car bay garage. And this is already rented for $2,000 a month. We just signed the lease. He's moving in today. And it's funny, I put a sign out here, and I think I had 2 or 3 people call on it in the last 2 days wanting to rent this space as well. So obviously there's high demand for these little kind of garage spaces like that. And then, yep, the rest of it, a lot of these pictures I think were just shown. But it's really cool property. I paid $865 for it. And then if we get out our trusty calculator again and do some of this math, $2,000 for the one space. I feel like the event center should be $2,000. The big shop around $4,000. Even just doing those and excluding the yard, which could be rented out for storage, the extra 2-car garage, all the Quonset huts, we multiply that by 12 and do our little $1.28 million. And really, I could probably sell it for close to that much right now if I just listed it with that one spot rented. It's a really neat property. It's got 3 water taps, zoned industrial. It's in the county, so it doesn't have to go by the city code and restrictions and different things, which is also extremely valuable. So that was a cool property. I'm leaning towards keeping it. Just need to work on some different financing options and different things. And for financing, you kind of want to get everything rented first. The big concern is because it was a diesel repair shop, some car repair shops in the other building. If there's any environmental issues, you might have to do a phase 1 environmental report to get a bank loan. If that shows up something, you might have to do some more work. It can be very expensive. So that's one concern with that property, but definitely so much value here, and really glad I got that one. All right, moving on to the next one. Another weird one I bought from a wholesaler. I actually paid $350 for it. You can see on the MLS it sold for $335. The wholesaler made that difference. And this one has 3 houses. I've showed a lot of videos on this on YouTube. A lot of all of these I've shown on YouTube already, so if you haven't seen them, you can check them out. This has 3 houses and a basement apartment. And the tricky thing with this one, sorry, I should make it bigger, is that it's only zoned to legally have 2 houses in a basement apartment. So there's one house that we've actually already been remodeling. It's pretty close to done. I know we just showed that video. We work quick once in a while. Sometimes. Here's the house that may or not, that isn't really legal, but there's question marks on if the city would care, if they would do anything, if other investors would care. Then there's the main house, and there's a basement apartment in this main house as well. So if we rented all of this out, where's my trusty calculator again here? Oh, just saying that for the house, that for the second house, the basement apartment, over $3,000 a month. Do my little, it's a $500,000 property. If we rented that third house out, it's a $600,000 property. The tricky thing with this one though is it's on an intersection, very busy intersection with really limited access. And some people ask if you can make it commercial or not. I don't think you can because the access is so close to the intersection. I don't think the city would ever want it commercial. Everything else is residential. It's not easy to just turn stuff into commercial. Even though you may think logically, oh, it's in a busy corner, it should be commercial. It's not that easy in real life. So it's probably deduct like 50 grand from any of these values because of those different issues. Functional obsolescence is what it's often called. But still a good deal. We're working on it now. And that was one where I thought, I don't even want this. I think the wholesaler was asking $385. I said, I'd do it for $350. He kept bugging me, thinking he wouldn't take it. We ended up getting that property, so that's okay. All right, moving on. Here's a flip we're doing. That one we paid $330 for. This is a weird sale where they tried to sell it for sale by owner. Then they had it on MLS, but it's like a limited service MLS thing. You can see they had no pictures. Not very good marketing at all. This one we've demoed. We're working on it right now. It'll take $60,000, $70,000 rehab probably. Hopefully we're in the $475 range for value. Neat property. Big lot, lots of garages. So hopefully that one will be here, make progress here soon. Love to get that one up for sale. But of course we'll have updates. We've already done the demo video, some other videos. Had a horrible contractor issue on this one as well too, in case you missed that, where he just started leaving crazy reviews for me. And then he started interacting with friends of mine on his own business review page. He ended up having to to remove his reviews from his Facebook profile because of the stuff he was saying. It was pretty crazy. So now we have our good contractors working on it. All right, then of course we have the store, which I bought back in January. That's been a great building. Paid $605 for it, which came with a liquor store and a grocery store as well. So the building, 3 apartments upstairs, and those all together, and it's been a ton of fun. I've had lots of videos on this one as well, going over the sales, the improvements we've made, the inventory we've added, different things we've done. We've shown 2 apartments upstairs. One of them is vacant, and we're remodeling right now. But just for the money on this one, it's interesting to see too, because we split up the business and the store. So I pay $2,700 a month to myself. There's 2 apartments rented now, and then they're really under rented as well too. But oops. We could probably get at least $1,500 for the one upstairs. If we do that, doing my little calculations, it's like an $850,000 building without the businesses included. So that's pretty cool. So the building's making money. It's doing great. And then the store, it's kind of hard to track exactly how much it's making because our margins aren't completely dialed in, and all the money we have, we pour back into more inventory and improvements in the store. So it's hard to tell from our bank account as well. But really, it should be making at least $8,000 a month, maybe more. And if that's the case, it's making $100,000 a year. A lot of times businesses are valued on a multiplier, 2, 3 multiplier. The business should be worth $300,000 and some plus inventory, right? You pay for the business, then you pay for the inventory on top of that. And we should have well over $100,000 in inventory now in that place. So we've almost doubled the value really of that building since buying it. And there's been a lot of fun, and I really like it. I've wanted a brick and mortar business for a long time, and it's even brick, so that worked out perfectly. All right, here's one that hasn't worked out quite as perfectly, the bar that we bought. I didn't realize it until right before I bought this that I can't have a liquor store and a bar. It's illegal in Colorado. I can have one or the other. I can have multiple of one, multiple of the other. I can't have each. So someone else owns the bar. They've been running it, managing it. I just own the building, and I really wanted to run it and operate it myself. So that part's been a little bit frustrating, and just in general, running a bar is so different from a liquor store. Different marketing, different margins, different costs, lots of different things that we're learning a lot about right now. So I might have some update videos on that, we'll see. But it's not going quite as well as the store, we'll put it that way. But we'll see. And it does not look like that anymore. That is when it was the old merry-go-round, and now it's called the poorhouse. So, and it looks totally different outside. All right, moving on. We paid $285 for this one, sorry. And that came with the business as well, bar and building and real estate, all of that. And that was a direct purchase from the owner who knew I owned some other properties in the area, and he reached out to me, and maybe he shouldn't have, I don't know, we'll see. Here's another flip. I bought this one from Zillow. It was for sale by owner on Zillow. Paid $332 for it. It's 2 units, 2 bedrooms, 1 bath in each unit. Real close to the college, has a 1-car garage as well. Needs very little work. The basement is actually vacant right now. We're doing a little bit of work down there. The upstairs should be vacant the end of this month, and it's really nice upstairs as well. So it was rented really cheap, I think $800 a month for each one, where market rent's more like $1,200, $1,100, the least amount, minimum amount. And if we can sell it vacant, it's worth way more, probably close to $400,000. If we get it rented for higher, maybe it's worth $415, $420 in that price range. And it, like I said, should take very little work, just a matter of getting it vacant, a little bit of rehab, putting it back up on the market. And a lot of people say, why would you buy that? It doesn't cash flow. And you're right, it doesn't cash flow paying $400,000 for a property that rents for $2,400, $2,500 a month. But other investors are paying that right now. So that's why we're flipping it and not keeping it. And that's why we do that. I've done that on a few of our income properties. All right, moving on to the last one. Another college rental. And this one I bought 2 for $297,000 from a wholesaler again in January. It was rented. They never paid rent. We had issues with the tenants. Lots of videos on that where we thought they were moved out. They weren't moved out. Then they stole my keys and different things, but we got it worked out. So this is the one we just redid the hardwood on, just doing some real minor things. We're going to list it back for sale, probably around $400,000. And again, it's a 5-bedroom, 2-bath. Plus it has a big attic that could be finished and an unfinished basement that could be finished as well. So lots of value add for someone else. I tend not to do those things just because of the time, resources it takes to do those, but that could be a neat house, either a single family house or a rental property right across from the college as well. All right, so those are the properties we bought so far. All of them very interesting. Hopefully you can understand why we bought them, a mix of flips, mix of rentals, and now to decide just kind of some of the first ones, the triplex, the industrial property. Do I want to keep them? Do I want to rent them and sell them? What do I want to do there? But I buy a lot of properties that are really, really good deals without knowing exactly what my exit strategy is. And usually it works out okay. Sometimes not so much, but usually it does. All right. Love all the likes, love the shares, love the comments. Keep those coming. We'll be back showing a lot more properties, a lot more flips that are done, in progress of being done, new flips. We have a new deal. I just got under contract to buy. It's a 4-level, just like the house I actually first bought for my first personal residence, and that was a direct market too. We'll talk about that and our businesses and stores and other business ideas I have that I'm working on as well. All right, thanks for watching. We'll be back soon.